Peace, peace, welcome in. How y'all feeling? How y'all vibrating? We just outside right now, enjoying the view. People are saying that the eclipse is in Aries, but honestly, to me, it's giving cusp energy, because as soon as it goes into eclipse, the moon changes into Taurus. So I'm definitely feeling like we're getting both Aries and Taurus energy, making it very intense, and bull energy. You know, the bulls break through things and are known for, like, you know, having the red flag or whatnot, and the bull just, you know, going for it. So it's a lot of especially, and then Aries is the goat, and then the male goats have the, you know, so it's giving it a lot of breakthrough energy, as well as Aries is about new beginnings. It's the start of the zodiac cycle, so this is a lot of breakthrough energy. So I know it's very intense. So it's like feeling that power of new beginnings, but also the power of cycles ending. It's a lot of energy, it's a lot of intensity, it's a lot of fire energy, as well as, you know, having the, you know, the earth energy trying to pivot through it. So it's a lot of energy to process. It's a lot of things that's happening, a lot of shifts that's happening, a lot of karmic cycles, trauma bonding. A lot of things are closing out because of this energy, and because of that Taurus energy that is seeping in as well. It's actually giving us the strength, the power, the clarity, the heart to actually be like, you know what, I don't deserve this shit, or you know what, I deserve better, I deserve more of what resonates with me, right? So that might be pushing a lot of people to move on from certain relationships or certain careers or passions, or wanting to do something new, because of how much that energy is trying to realign you with that positive energy, that powerful energy of you get to choose what you want for your reality. And that Aries energy gives that impulsiveness, right? So it's like, you know what, I need to start choosing me. I need to start choosing what I like, what I want to experience. So it's like, it's really pushing us into that space, into that energy of like, okay, how can I really break past my own limitation, the limitations being placed outside of me, my limitations in relationships, because I really seek security. I really am entirely focused on having things the way that I want it to be. You know, like, it's really pushing people to be like, I no longer want to live in a life or a space that isn't helpful to me, that isn't allowing me to be my best self. Like, everyone's choosing now, like, what works for them and what they feel is like for them. And it's because of that Aries energy, I'm telling you, it's pushing everybody to be like, you know what, I don't even care no more. Like, and then the bull, I don't even care no more. Like, I am ready to just live the life that I deserve, the life that I've always seen for myself, the life that, you know, I have all the things that actually make sense to me, and all of the things that I actually want in my life, the things that I'm actually passionate about. These are the things that I want to now surrender to. I no longer want to keep putting myself in this position or this place where I'm always compromising. Like, that's really what I'm getting from this Aries Taurus eclipse cusp energy. People don't want to compromise no more. It's like, I want what makes me happy, and that is all that I am fighting for. That is all that I want to experience. That is all that I see for myself, and that is absolutely fair and understandable, because we've spent far too long of our lifetimes doing for other people, moving for other people, experiencing based on other people, and now we are finally in a position to break free of that and start living our lives as individuals. So huge congratulations, huge powerful energy onto you choosing the life that you want to live over a life that doesn't suit you. You hear me? Like, what you do with yourself doesn't always have to make sense to anybody other than you. It doesn't. So why keep allowing yourself to make decisions to do things that doesn't align with you? And some of those decisions are probably going to make you feel very frustrated. There's going to be a lot of frustration energy that's happening as well, because everybody's finally at a point. They're finally at a breakthrough point where they're like, you know what? I just deserve better. That's like, you don't need no type of other form of confirmation other than I just know that I deserve better than the experience that I am having right now at this point in time. So again, congratulations to everyone who is taking the initiative to actually utilize this energy to change their lives and not be victims, because we tend to do that a lot as well. We tend to just take things and take things and take things and deal with all types of things that we don't want to do. But we don't have to do that. We never had to do that. It was just always something that was forced on us because of society, but it was never because we actually wanted to experience these things. So it's like, how can you surrender more to what you love, what you are passionate about, what you actually enjoy, what you actually want for yourself? How can you start putting yourself in a better position to do that? This is the time to do it. The time is now. So definitely continue to push yourself to break past all the limitations that have been created not only just by yourself but by others. This is your time to shine. This is your moment to shine. This is your moment to choose the experience that you prefer. So just accept, just embrace, just embody all of that energy, because you don't have to go through anything that you don't want to. But again, we've been programmed like, oh, you don't get to choose what you want to experience, right? It's always just, you're supposed to just deal with this, you're just supposed to deal with that, you're just supposed to do this, you're just supposed to do that. But it's never, what do you want to do? What are you passionate about? What do you want to experience? That's never the case. It's never the case. We're always taught to just go against our passion, go against our heart, go against our mind, go against our feelings of intuition, and just do what everyone else thinks is what you should be doing. But that's not how this works at all. Peace to everybody that is coming in. So yeah, this eclipse energy is very much giving cusp, because like I said, we got the Aries and we got the Taurus energy. So it's definitely big on having two paths presented to you, and instead of choosing the middle path, it's more so, how can you choose both? Because there is whoever told us that you just had to pick a path and go with it lied too. Because a lot of us are multifaceted. A lot of us are able and capable of doing multiple things at the same time. And so who's to say that we only have to choose one path? Why not choose as many paths as you want? If you want to be a pilot, if you want to be a jewelry maker, if you want to do ceramics, if you want to be a gardener, but you love all of them, why do you have to just choose one? Do all of it. We all deserve to be able to do everything that we are passionate about. And then we again are always taught to compromise. And even though there's many times where compromising is important and is very useful and is helpful to a situation, it's not always the answer. Sometimes you do have to choose what you want. Sometimes you do have to choose what makes sense to you, even when it doesn't make sense to anybody else. And again, this cusp energy of Taurus and Aries is also very much like, how can you live in your truth? How can you stop living by the standards of others, and or you being afraid of what other people are going to think about the decisions that you make, and actually just start doing what you want unapologetically? because you know what you feel, you know what you experience, you know what God puts in you. So why do we still choose to try to live by the standards of others, or live by decisions that will make sense to others and not actually what makes sense to us and our spirit and our emotions and our intuition and everything that just exists within our bodies? We deserve the ability to just do what's best for us without any care in the world of how anyone is going to perceive it. This is your journey, this is your life, this is your experience. So experience it. It doesn't have to make sense to not even you sometimes, and I think that's another part of it as well. Sometimes we get this urge, we get this download, this intuitive expression or message, and we overthink it, we overanalyze it, we need to understand all of it. But in actuality, it's bigger than us, and sometimes what's on the other side of those messages, those downloads, those directions given to us from, whether it's the universe, the cosmos, the higher self, the over self, the shadow self, none of it matters, because it's all still stuff that we have to experience as an individual. There's a reason why these things come to you. There's a reason why you are even being led to that thing. So sometimes it's like you still need to carry something out in order to gain the experience. And I feel like in spirituality and in this earth experience, everybody tries too hard to be perfect. So a lot of people don't like making decisions based on their shadow or their ego. But it's like, true wholeness is understanding that sometimes you do have to make decisions that comes from your shadow or your ego, because there's a lesson to be learned, there's an experience to be had, and there's an enlightenment that's on the other side of that door. But because we over expect this perfection. But what is perfection? We don't even know what perfection is, but yet we constantly want to live by the standard of what perfection is. So then we put too much expectation, we put too much attachment into our journeys, and then we need all these answers all the time. We need everything to always make sense all the time. So then we over exaggerate everything and then end up doing nothing. We end up doing nothing with that energy, with that experience, or with that energy or the insight or the urges that we get. And then wonder why we're unhappy, because we put too much emphasis in everything instead of just doing, just being. Everything doesn't have to make sense in the moment. Everything doesn't have to have an answer in the moment. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to only live in your higher self. You're supposed to live in all things. You're supposed to experience everything, because everything is still God. So when you picking and choosing what you're supposed to be doing or how you're supposed to be doing certain things, you're not acting or living out of a space of a reflection of God. You're living out of fear. You're living out of anticipation. You're living out of attachment. You're living out of boundaries. And even though boundaries, yes, they're important, they're not the totality. So it's like, how do we keep allowing ourselves to continue to hold ourselves back? Because we're the only person that can hold us back. We're the only person that can get in our own way. Why do we still put so much of that expectation onto other people too? Where we're like, oh, well, you know, this person said that I gotta do this way, and if I don't, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm not living in my fullest experience. I'm not doing things the proper way. But what is even that? What does any of those things mean? Because from my experience, I've realized that just being and just doing has always brought me into amazing spaces, has always brought me abundance in the most miraculous ways. I've learned so much. I've experienced so much from just operating out of a go mentality. reality and not always trying to make things make sense, I've just been living out of just my truth. And I realized that for a long time I've allowed that nomad energy that I lived through to also slow me down, because then now I started to accept other people's perspectives of the journey that I am on. So then I've allowed those opinions to now block me and stop me from feeling like what I'm doing is good enough. So then I start to doubt my own intuition. I start to doubt my own power. I start to doubt why I'm even doing certain things. And then I fall into this dark place. And it's like, I'm definitely not one to run away from a dark place. Like, I'm going to go into it and I'm going to try to break it down and understand why did we get here and what is happening in here so that I can transmute that. So it's all still necessary. But I'm really starting to remember my truth and my power and understanding that I'm going to look like the bad guy sometimes to people. I'm going to appear like I don't have a care in the world to some people. I'm going to appear like I just don't make sense to some people. People are going to question me all the time. People are going to critique me all the time. People are always going to assume about me all the time. But it's because of how much I live in my truth. People are accustomed to society standards. So when you are somebody who doesn't live by those standards, you're going to ruffle a lot of feathers. And again, I've allowed those feathers being ruffled to destroy myself in a constant phoenix energy, I'll put it as. Instead of me just doing what I gotta do and living how I need to live and doing what always just felt right to me. So again, I feel like this eclipse energy is just bringing a lot of realizations to everyone, where you are starting to recognize why you made a lot of the decisions that you've made, why certain things happen to you, and to a point and to a degree where now you can just fully accept that. You can fully accept like what's happening and no longer questioning yourself, questioning your actions, questioning why you did any of it. Now you're just learning how to just accept it. You're gonna start to be able to recognize the value and why you made the decisions that you did, and the value in why you go through the things that you do, and also realizing that you don't always need to understand all of that. You don't need to understand all of it. You just need to do. Peace and welcome to everybody that is in here. If you are new here, I do make crystal jewelry. I am a spirit guide. I host spiritual retreats, all of which are available in the link in my bio on my website, missmo.info. Right now we are just talking about the eclipse energy, living in your truth, because that's what this eclipse being in a cusp energy is all about right now, because we got Aries and Taurus energy coming through this eclipse energy. And again, that bull, that Taurus energy is ruled by Venus, for one, as well as it is a ruler of the throat chakra. So we are remembering and figuring out our truth from a heart chakra space and not from everybody else space. We are learning to live in our truth from that heart space and in our spirits. We are remembering that. We are coming back into that space of like, I am who I am, and I have this journey and this experience that is mine, and therefore I should be living from that. I should be creating from that and not from anything else. And this is also where I host my spiritual retreats. The water is right there. But yeah, like we a lot of people judge me, right? But I'm always exactly where I need to be, and I'm just learning the power of living in my truth. And again, that's why I wanted to talk about this eclipse energy and just like everything that we are experiencing with this energy, because a lot of the times living in your truth may not make sense to people, but it's always going to put you exactly where you need to be, because it's not supposed to make sense to anybody else but you. But when we allow other people's opinions and perspectives to cloud our judgment, that we no longer honor ourselves. We no longer live in our power, in our truth, and we deserve more than that. We deserve to live out of that heart space. We deserve to live out of our passions. Like I was saying earlier, we have to stop telling each other that you always have to just pick one path or pick one lane or pick one passion. Do everything. Live your heart's desire. If you want to crochet but also be a pilot, but also be a ceramic person, or also want to speed race, do everything. Do all of it. This is your journey. This is your experience. This is your life. We gotta stop wasting it because of what somebody else said that we're supposed to be doing with it. This is your experience. You are the one that has to live in your shoes. So why not live it the way you see it fit? Even if you gotta ruffle feathers, even if you're gonna step on a couple toes, even if it's not always gonna make sense to everybody else outside of you, that is not their problem other than yours. You have to live your truth. You have to live in your passion. You have to live in your heart space, because can't nobody else live your experience for you but you. So why are we living by the standards of other people that cannot give us happiness or joy or fulfillment? They can't. Only you can bring yourself to that fulfillment. Only you can put yourself in positions to experience fulfillment. So why? And that's what this eclipse energy is all about. It's teaching us and reminding us of how to live for you, how to experience for you, how to love for you, how to fulfill yourself from your truth, from a space of who you truly are. Only you can do that. You feel me? Like we put so much expectation on ourselves due to other people. We're not living enough for ourselves. And again, this 7-year plus this eclipse season plus this Mercury retrograde plus all these energies, all of these solar flares, all of these different things that we have been experiencing, they are all bringing us to a place of truth. This is all trying to bring us to a place of truth in our own experience, for us, by us, through us, and no longer through the opinions, the perspectives, the anything else of anybody else. This is your journey. This is your path. This is your experience. So how can you continue to choose yourself? How can you continue to stop being in fear? How can you just stop not living your truth, your power, your experience? Like, this is all for you, man. You didn't come here. You didn't come to this planet to do anything other than what your heart, your spirit wanted for you. And that is why this energy right now is pushing a lot of people to their limits, to their limitations, to this point of enough is enough. I'm ready to live for me. I'm ready to do this for me. Like, I no longer live by the standards of anybody else other than me, because if I am not happy, if I cannot fill my own cup, then what am I doing? I can't do for others what I can't do for myself. So it's like this energy is just really pushing us to finally choose ourselves, to finally expose ourselves to our truth. You will always end up exactly where you need to be when you choose your truth, you know? And yes, to anybody who is new here, I make crystal jewelry. I am a spirit guide. I do readings, energy healings. I host spiritual retreats. I do it all. So hit the link in my bio if you would like to work with me in any facet. I'm very much a genuine person, so anything you do with me is always from a genuine place. Like, so yes, if anybody is interested in working with me, all you gotta do is hit the link in my bio to go to my website, nispo.info. Again, I make crystal jewelry, I do readings, I do energy healings, I do spiritual retreats. I will soon be hosting more lectures and more things online. I also started doing videos once a week on my YouTube channel. My latest video is also in the link in my bio, where we talk about healing in layers. And I feel like even that really set the tone for this eclipse energy as well. Healing in layers means that you are going to get triggered by many different things throughout your lifetime. There are many different layers to your healing journey and your healing process, and a lot of different layers to what it means to come into your truth. So again, this eclipse energy, this Mercury retrograde in Taurus, is so much love energy. There is so much love energy that is being brought down onto us, and this is why we are coming to standpoints where we're recognizing and realizing where we weren't living in our truth. We were living in our healing. We were living in our trauma. We were living in a space of like, how can I just survive? But this 7-year energy, this eclipse energy, this Mercury retrograde energy, all of these solar flares, we've been getting hit with so many M classes and X classes. Like, we are being pushed to finally get out of survival mode, because everything is changing. You no longer need to live in your lower chakras. You no longer need to live in survival mode. We are being moved into a place, into a space where who you are, what you are passionate about, is good enough. What you are experiencing within yourself from your spirit is good enough, and you should just be living out of that experience. You are here to live a beautiful life, but beautiful doesn't mean that it doesn't get ugly. Beautiful does not mean that it doesn't get ugly. Thank you for all the likes and all of the follows. Like, I will definitely be posting this live to my YouTube as well, because I feel like I was just talking about a lot of beautiful things. So if y'all catching this on YouTube, make sure y'all follow me on all my social medias, Nefersoul. Yes, I've been feeling the freedom. I've been feeling the pain. I've been feeling the conflict. I've been feeling the freedom. I've been feeling the passion, the defeat, all at the same time. All at the same time. And it's all for a reason, because again, we are learning how to start moving out of survival mode. We are learning how to finally let go, let loose, and start choosing ourselves, how to start choosing what works for us, what we want to experience, how we want to experience it, what we want to surrender to and compromise to, and what we actually want to like stop doing because it just doesn't work with us anymore. And that's all a beautiful thing. And never be afraid to, like, we get so afraid of hurting people too, but sometimes you gotta hurt somebody to live in your truth, and it's never on purpose. When we make certain decisions, it's because we really meant it at the time, but we don't give ourselves enough leniency or openness to change and to change our minds. We don't allow that. And it's okay. It's completely okay to change your mind. It's okay to want something different. It's okay to realize that you've been living a life that you don't really like. It's okay to realize that you're in relationships or partnerships with people that don't really work. We always choose to just keep doing things even if it's uncomfortable, and even though we need to experience uncomfortability, like, don't run from uncomfortability, but just because you're experiencing and choosing to live through that uncomfortability, still, even in that uncomfortability, don't mean you can't change your mind. You can't wake up one day and be like, you know what, I've experienced enough of this specific uncomfortability, now I am ready to experience something else. Now I am ready to explore something else, because I feel like I've experienced everything that I needed to experience. Now I am ready to try something else. Now I am ready to seek something else, experience something else. But like, we are going to outgrow people. We're going to outgrow situations. We're going to outgrow places. But what you should never do is feel fearful enough that you don't make the decision to change that. That you don't open yourself up to try something else, or do something else, or experience something else. Like, we put all this pressure on ourselves to remain the same, because we grew up in eras where it's like, oh, if you're always changing, that means you was never a real person. You were never being your real self. Like, you're not supposed to switch. You're not supposed to change up. You're not supposed to become something else. But it's like, that's actually exactly what we're supposed to be becoming and doing and experiencing. You're always supposed to change. You're always supposed to mold and shift and grow and expand and compress and close down and get smaller and then get back big again and turn into multiple things and turn back into one thing. And there's no reason to not morph. This whole experience is completely about metamorphosis. Whether you are like I said, whether you are becoming bigger then going smaller, being smaller, becoming bigger, going in the middle, turning into something completely different, turning it back into what you was before, going now into something else. All of it is for you to experience it, for you to enjoy it, for you to try. That is true harmony. That is true experience. So, learn to live in a state of curiosity more than you live in a state of explanation. Because you don't always need an explanation, you just need curiosity. And I feel like that's why they create all these sayings like curiosity killed the cat. Because they always want to create perspectives that pushes us away from true freedom. Curiosity did kill the cat, but they don't talk about how it rebirthed after the fact and became a whole other thing after, and how it needed to go into that experience, because that experience led them to something bigger. That experience led them into something more powerful. That experience brought them more insight, more clarity, more information, more knowledge, more serenity, more peace, more confusion, more disconnection, more everything, because everything is always necessary. Everything is literally God. Everything needs to be experienced. True balance is not just living in higher self or in harmony all the time. True balance is being able to maneuver through both aspects. You got to be able to go through everything, because you are everything. So when you don't want to experience everything, you are living through fear, you are living through limitation, you are living through, again, fear. And that is not your true being. That is not your truth. That is not who you are. Like, we came here for way more for way more. And we gotta let ourselves have that. But yes, I will be posting this to YouTube. So if you find this on YouTube, thank you for watching. And I will catch y'all very soon with another episode. Peace.